Hello Aries and welcome to your April 2026 monthly horoscope. My name is Justina. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to explore what's happening this month, what's in store for you this month. It's a really busy month. Of course, Uranus enters Gemini. We've got a new and a full moon and a bit of energizing energy for you more specifically. So here I follow Western astrology and these horoscopes are most accurate for your rising sign. However, you can also watch them for your moon sign or your sun sign if you wish. So thank you very much and let's begin. All right. So first of all, we start the month with a full moon happening in Libra. And this is happening on the 2nd of April at 12 degrees of Libra. All right, so full moon occurs when the sun and the moon meet in opposite signs. This is when the moon is fully illuminated in the sky. And of course, this energy intensifies our feelings. It intensifies also our emotions. So what's happening here? So 7th house is connected to relationships, one-to-one connections, partnerships, business, platonic, very close friendships, but also contracts we have with other people. So perhaps a connection or a contract with your landlord or with your dentist, if you're on a dental plan, for instance, or perhaps this could be a relationship between yourself and your client. So whatever the scenario, full moons bring a turning point. Very often. This is the middle of the lunation cycle. So here, very often with a full moon in the 7th house, we are more aware of any balance happening in these one-to-one relationships. We become more aware of any inconsistencies of what's working, of what isn't working, of what needs to change as well. So this full moon could bring much needed clarity for you about these one-to-ones, but this could be also connected to your relationship, to your marriage, maybe some important decisions that you will have to make. For example, this will depend on your circumstances, of course. Have a look if you have any placements at 12 degrees of Libra, but also Aries, Capricorn or Cancer, because you will be under a greater influence of this full moon. On the 9th, Mars, your ruler, enters your 1st house, your sign. This is a very energizing energy, of course, because Mars, first of all, feels fantastic in Aries. Mars rules Aries, but also the 1st house is so-called an angular house. So Mars or any planet in the 1st house feels very, very strong, visible. And overall here, with this being your ruler, you will feel much more energized throughout the month of April, especially as of the 9th. Now, of course, if your ascendant is in those final degrees of Aries, then that energizing energy will especially be activated probably in May. But if your ascendant is in the first, at least the first 10 degrees, then you will definitely feel it in the month of April. All right, so here a very energizing energy pushing you to take action. Aries is a cardinal sign, so action oriented, connected to movement, impulsivity. Suddenly you might feel like that. Generally, you might feel like you have to take this idea, this goal off the ground. This energy brings a lot of motivation. It's a very different kind of energy to what you experienced throughout the month of March. Now, at the same time, this is a good time for following your dreams, for following your goals, especially since on the 15th, Mercury, the planet of communication, enters Aries, and that's also your 1st house. So here, this energy will help you to communicate more clearly, more confidently, more assertively as well. And at the same time, with Mercury in Aries, generally this is a good time for having interviews, for having these important conversations, and for facing any generally matters or aspects of your life that perhaps you have been delaying. Now, on the 16th, the Sun and Chiron will conjoin. So this could be more of a vulnerable day because this day could bring back some memories from the past, especially unhealed emotions. You might become more aware of your insecurities, generally experiences from the past, especially those where you feel misunderstood, or perhaps if you felt like you were not fully heard, those unhealed feelings, emotions could show up, could come up, giving you a chance for healing. So it's a very, very healing, supportive energy. But I've just realized that I forgot to tell you as well that on the 13th, Mars and Neptune will align. So this is also an important one because Neptune brings confusion, delusion. And so the 13th is not a good day for making any important decisions or having important meetings, interviews. If you have to, you have to, but just bear in mind that the energies are slightly scattered or unclear. So this is something to keep in mind. All right. So on the 17th, there is a new moon happening at 27 degrees of Aries, and that late degree of a cardinal sign here, Aries. Even though it's a new moon, of course, which new moons are connected to something new, very often an idea, not necessarily some major breakthroughs, but this is generally a time, the cardinal sign. But at the same time, think about your direction, the direction that your life is heading, about your life. You are in a very important phase of your life because Saturn is now in Aries, Neptune as well, but Neptune will take over decades to get through each degree of Aries, while Saturn will only stay here for 2 years and a little bit. It's a very fast transit. What this means is that you're entering a very different era, a very different phase in your life. More responsibility, more authority. Perhaps you might be going through some career changes. Your life could be changing, restructuring, might be restructuring your life overall. And this new moon could bring some new ideas, maybe a slightly clearer sense of direction as well. Now, bear in mind, between the 19th and the 20th, we've got a series of some serious alignments, because this is when Mars will align with Saturn and Mercury. And so basically Mars, Mercury and Saturn will align all in Aries between the 19th and the 20th. And this combination of planets brings that sense of responsibility, perhaps big decisions, important decisions, things that will generally impact you for quite some time, lasting decisions. Maybe this is about your life direction, your career direction, for example, future direction. So this isn't the kind of energy to act impulsively, but rather strategically, with Saturn's involvement here especially. Now here on the 20th, on the other hand, the Sun enters Taurus. So we start Taurus season at this point. So your mindset, your focus begins to shift towards your money area, towards financial security, stability. And this is when you'll begin to think more seriously about financial stability, your resources, how you support yourself. And this could be also a good time for evaluating your relationship with money, for considering what kind of security you want to build moving forward. Now, late April brings unexpected energies, sudden events, sudden situations, because we've got a conjunction between Venus, and that's on the 24th at 29 degrees, so a late degree. And this energy could bring some surprising news, ideas connected to your financial situation. Maybe some surprising opportunities, maybe some financial changes, maybe some surprises. So there's a shift of energy happening, and it will especially influence your life if you have any placement at around 29 degrees of either Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, or Aquarius. And we finally reached one of the most important probably events of the month, which is Uranus entering Gemini. So we had this transit for just a tiny amount of time last year. And that was between July and early November. And this time around, Uranus is going to stay here for quite some time, for about 7 years. So this is a major shift of energy. Uranus breaks away from anything that isn't working. And this is about long-term change, influencing your communication style, your thinking processes, your daily reality, your daily interactions, your daily connections overall. So over the coming years, it seems like your communication style is likely going to change. How you think, how you learn, how you communicate. But at the same time, for some, this could mean that you'll begin a brand new journey in the sphere of teaching, coaching, guiding, writing even. Maybe you'll be working with new technologies. Uranus is very much connected to technology, media. So for some Aries rising, this could indicate working with these technologies. All right. So thank you so much, Aries. This is what I've got for you today, and bye for now.